All right. Congressman, what made you decide to enlist in the Army?
Well, I decided to enlist in the Army while I was a high school student, and back then the Cold War was going on. So, you're thinking, oh, the Soviets, and there's no real comparison today because we weren't even sure that we were stronger than the Soviets when I was in high school. We believed it because we were Americans, but it was a big menace. And fighter planes were big, submarines were big, and I realized I don't want to be in submarines. I'm not eligible to fly planes due to vision. So who jumps out of the planes? So then I realized what an Army Ranger was. That's what I wanted to do.
Now, as a West Point, after you were an enlisted officer, or after you were enlisted, you enrolled in West Point, and as a West Point trained Army officer and Army Ranger, what did you try to instill in troops you led?
Well, it was an honor to go from being an enlisted guy to being an officer, and I think I benefited from a lot of that because I had seen, good leadership, bad leadership, and I thought, one, try to set a good example, two, just expect excellence. And so I think a lot of times you see people in life, not just in the military, but everywhere, content with being adequate. And so I just try to push people to really be their best, be the best that they could possibly be. And in that sense, we were as ready as we could possibly be for combat.
Now, what was your most memorable experience serving your country?
I think seeing the fall of the Berlin Wall. I mean, that came when I was an enlisted guy pretty early in 1989. Actually, today's our anniversary, 9 November 1989. So, anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. So having, seen the culmination of the Cold War, been there to really meet people that it was really their first hours coming across the border, walking through Checkpoint Charlie while I was in my Class A's, while it was still there, at the end of the Cold War. I think that was just hard to beat as a life experience.
Now, as a veteran, as you are a veteran today, what message do you have for other veterans?
Just thanks for your service. I mean, we still are protected by an all-volunteer force. So people knowing what they know today, knowing that we don't have all of the missions defined the way we should, knowing that we're not giving our troops all the resources that we should, knowing that we're not doing an adequate job of taking care of our veterans. But in the face of that, knowing that we still have enemies and they choose to put on our uniform, they volunteer, and keep our country safe. So thank you.